You are now listening to the Yeshua community. In the beginning, everyone who believed in Yeshua was Jewish. They belonged to the diverse Judaism of the first century, a Judaism made up of many groups and many interpretations of Torah. The earliest Yeshua-believers did not see themselves as founding a new religion. They saw themselves as Jews who believed that God's promises were being fulfilled. They prayed in synagogues, kept the Sabbath, ate kosher, and understood Yeshua's teaching as a radical deepening of Torah. After Yeshua's death, the movement continued to grow. James, Yeshua's brother, led the community in Jerusalem. There was no sense of breaking away from Judaism. For the early believers, Yeshua was part of Jewish hope, not a solution outside it. The first generations also carried a strong expectation: Yeshua would return soon. This hope was shaped by the political pressures of the time. Under Roman rule, heavy taxation, violence, and injustice, the promise of a near redemption seemed both necessary and imminent. Many believed it would happen within their own lifetime. This was not abstract theology. It was a lived expectation in a world under strain. Then non-Jews began entering the movement. They were drawn to Yeshua's ethics, his universal call, and his vision of God's kingdom. A debate emerged: must non-Jews become Jews in order to follow Yeshua? The answer became no. Non-Jews were to follow certain basic principles, but they were not required to take on Jewish identity. This created a new dynamic: Jewish Yeshua believers living within Torah and non-Jews following Yeshua without it. Over time, the non-Jewish believers became the majority. They brought with them their languages, philosophies, and cultural frameworks. Slowly, the Yeshua movement became less Jewish in shape and more Roman in form. This was the beginning of what would later be called Christianity. Meanwhile, the original Jewish Yeshua movement began to decline. A central reason was precisely the expectation that Yeshua would return quickly. When this did not happen, the first generation died, and the movement's Jewish core weakened. Some returned to wider Judaism. Others joined the growing non-Jewish communities. After the destruction of the temple in the year 70, and especially after the Bar Kokhba revolt in 135, the Jewish Yeshua movement almost disappeared. Yeshua faith continued, but now primarily in the hands of non-Jewish believers. Judaism developed along another path. After the loss of the temple, the rabbis took on the task of preserving Jewish life. Their work became the Mishnah, and later the Talmud, shaping what we now call Rabbinic Judaism. It provided a structure strong enough to sustain the Jewish people through centuries of diaspora. On the other side, the non-Jewish followers of Yeshua collected and preserved their own writings, the letters of Paul, the narratives about Yeshua, and other early texts. These eventually formed the New Testament. And as Christianity grew in size and influence within the Roman world, the relationship between Jews and Christians changed dramatically. When Christianity became the dominant religion of the empire, theological differences were turned into political realities. Some Christian teachers placed the blame for Yeshua's death on the Jews. Even though crucifixion was a Roman punishment and only Rome held the authority to execute. The accusation of deicide, absent from Yeshua's own teaching and from the earliest generations, became a powerful and harmful idea. Over time, laws restricted Jewish rights, limited their public expressions, and in many periods led to persecution. Thus, two great traditions emerged from the same beginning but moved in very different directions. Judaism received the Talmud, a vast universe of discussion, legal reasoning, and spiritual insight. Christianity received the New Testament, a smaller but foundational collection interpreting the meaning of Yeshua for the world. Each shaped the identity and the destiny of millions. When we look back today, understanding Yeshua means returning to those first decades before the split, before the expectations faded, before politics reshaped everything. In that early moment, we see Yeshua as he truly was, a Jewish teacher deeply rooted in Torah, calling people to repentance, justice, and love. And from that moment, we see how one beginning eventually led to two textual worlds, the Talmud and the New Testament. Thank you for listening. Peace and blessings from the Yeshua community.